Last night, a potential swing vote, Senator Alexander said no to witnesses, paving the way for an imminent Donald Trump acquittal. And I can only feel like the Democrats have failed so miserably. What was this? You know that saying from The Wire? Everyone thinks it's Shakespeare, though. I looked this up. If you come at the king, you best not miss. They did. They will now make Trump stronger than ever. We all know the great benefits Trump has received due to the impeachment trial. He's fundraised off it. His approval rating is up. People didn't want it. We're bored by it. The ratings were down, but Democrats were stuck. They moved forward, and in all likelihood, they've failed. Now, I'll concede, I think there's a 4% chance of actual removal, apparently. Let me show you. I want to read the story about Alexander, but let me just show you this real quick. Predict It has right now, look at this, in the past 24 hours, let's do 7 days actually. So on the 28th, we saw people were betting for some reason Trump would be removed, and it just tanked. Now at 4 cents or around 4%. These are the people placing bets Trump will be removed. It is a terrible idea. You shouldn't have done it. So here's the thing. Today, in all likelihood, Trump will be acquitted. He will then use this to not only prove that he was innocent or exonerated, but it also shows the failure of the Democrats. They've gotten nothing done. Impeachment failed. What did they do all this time? Passing great bills and negotiating with Trump and the Republicans to make the country better? No. Complaining that the orange man was bad. And then what happened? The orange man wins. We all knew it was going to happen. It's playing out exactly as we all knew, and it's just making the Democrats look completely ineffective. If the Democrats' goal were to help Trump win his reelection and make a ton of money, that impeachment worked swimmingly. I can't believe it, man. There were articles coming out from left-wing publications before the impeachment vote that said, does Donald Trump want to be impeached? And then he raised like $15 million overnight off of impeachment. Okay, but let's get to the news. Senator Alexander was a potential swing vote. The reason for it, they say that this guy's a Republican, but he's about to retire. And that means he's not stuck, based on re-election or anything like that. He can vote however he wants. He ended up siding with the Republicans for one simple reason. Adam Schiff claims they have proven their case. Boom. So what did Alexander say? Why call witnesses? If you've already proven it's true that Donald Trump did these things, then what's the point of witnesses? And he goes on to say, none of these things reach the level of impeachment. I'll tell you what, man. The left is claiming that it's the first impeachment with no witnesses. The Republicans, they're running a sham. It's also the first impeachment with no statutory crimes being broken. So yeah, the Democrats are running a sham too. Don't care. Trump wins. It's over. What witnesses could be called anyway? The Democrats claim they've already proven their case, but they provided no real evidence. It's just at this point, another ongoing witch hunt, to quote Donald Trump. But I mean it. Think about it. You look at what started the Russiagate in Sandy, the Carter Page FISA, which we now know to be bad. And now he's suing the DNC. I don't know if you saw that story. So now you have all of these investigations beyond this, and they're trying to use Russiagate to claim Trump did this, that, or otherwise. But that whole thing was started on a false premise. What do they want to do now? I kid you not. On Twitter, people are saying the only reason they're trying to block witnesses is because it would actually ensnare Bill Barr and other Trump allies. Is that your argument? So what you're basically saying is that the goal of impeachment is not to get Trump, but, okay, I'm being hyperbolic, but the goal is to actually start doing sweeping investigations into tons of other people without merit? Yeah, we don't do that. Okay, you need probable cause evidence to start this investigation. And when it came to Russiagate and Carter Page, 3 years of absolute psychosis, making like people I know have actually lost their minds. And what do we get for it? Nothing. Fake news. Here we are again. Not only that, there's actually some evidence right now that suggests Donald Trump was correct in his actions. Yesterday on my main channel, I covered how the former prosecutor general of Ukraine wants criminal charges against Biden. Now, you may say, but that guy's corrupt. He's a liar, by all means. Maybe he's lying. Maybe he's accusing Biden of things that Biden didn't do. Okay. But if a former prosecutor general, corrupt or otherwise, wrote a letter and signed it demanding criminal charges, is that enough to ask for it to be investigated? The answer is yes. Is it proof that Donald Trump was digging up dirt on Biden to win a re-election? It's not. It's actually evidence that Trump may have been motivated by a potential for corruption. Just because he wanted an investigation into Biden doesn't mean there would have been criminal charges against Biden. Doesn't mean there would have been a public announcement about Biden. If Trump's motivation really was to get dirt on Biden, maybe there wouldn't have been any. But maybe if Donald Trump said, I want you to look into this, a month later, Zelensky over in Ukraine could have said nothing there, and Trump would have been like, okay. But it never happened. So apparently the Democrats want to impeach Trump for this, but I'll tell you what really happened. They were looking for anything they could get. And this is what I'm gonna jump over now. There's too much to go through today. Today is a crazy day, but I'm actually very angry at Fox News. Fox News, you spineless cowards. Look at this. Rand Paul. Trump would be going against the law if he didn't investigate the Bidens. Rand Paul wanted to ask a question about a man I call Voldemort because I'm not allowed to say his name on YouTube, which is insane. But Rand Paul was correct in his question. Basically, you had two individuals, the alleged whistleblower, aka Voldemort, because I can't say his name, and a man named Sean Misko. Apparently, according to a Real Clear Investigations story, they were overheard talking about how they must remove Trump by any means necessary. This man then went on to be the alleged whistleblower, but Sean Misko joined Adam Schiff's team. Rand Paul asked nothing about the whistleblower. He didn't say anything about the whistleblower. He said we have two Democratic holdovers overheard plotting the removal of Trump, and one of those people then went on to join Adam Schiff's team, and that person helped coordinate with the whistleblower. Rand Paul didn't actually mention the whistleblower. He just mentioned Misko. Justice Roberts refused to ask the question. Okay, I think at this point we know who the whistleblower is. It is Voldemort because everyone said repeatedly, I don't know who the whistleblower is. We're talking about a Democratic holdover plotting the removal of Trump and his friend who was plotting with him going to work for Schiff. We can't talk about it. I can say Sean Misko over and over and over and over again, but I can't say the other guy who was involved with this. Now, you want to know why I'm saying Fox News are spineless cowards? Rand Paul had no problem saying the name, and he was right. I don't know who the whistleblower is. Schiff doesn't know who the whistleblower is, but this Democrat holdover was coordinating with one of Schiff's now staff, right? So let's ask the question. Fox News said, if you want to know his name, just go to Twitter. They said, we're going to ask you not to say it. You know what, man? Let me tell you something. I am furious that I can't say the name of Voldemort. YouTube will actually delete this video. So you can get mad at me all you want. But if I say it, YouTube will just delete the video and no one will see anything I'm saying. That is a major restriction. I have basically screamed at YouTube via email saying this is an extreme violation of First Amendment of our free speech rights. Not First Amendment, sorry, but of the freedom of the press. It is a major milestone in the corruption of Google and the impending dystopian nightmare that we're already in, where major corporations restrict freedom of speech in the press. Yeah, I'm very angry about it. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I will do my best to make sure I can still talk about it to whatever degree I can, and I'll call the guy Voldemort. Can't say his name. Fox News can. Fox News, their cable channel is under no such restriction, yet they still refuse to report the news. Real Clear Politics, many other outlets have no problem saying, here's the person's name, it's newsworthy. The president himself has retweeted the story with the name in it. The president's son, the same thing. At what point do you say everybody knows Voldemort's real name? But Fox News won't do it. And that to me is disgusting. And you know what? I really do like Rand Paul. I think he's a good dude. But if I was Rand Paul and I went on and I was on Fox and they say, we're going to ask you not to say the name, I'll say bye, take off the microphone, and I'd flick him off. Okay, I wouldn't flick him off, but I'd say no dice. Sorry, we're not playing this game. You know what bothers me? I was hoping Rand Paul would walk away from this. That Rand Paul would say, I'm not doing an interview. You know why? Rand Paul's question was not about the whistleblower. Now, CNN tried claiming it basically was, but it wasn't. He says, oh, it's because Rand Paul knows who the alleged whistleblower is. No, full stop. Our speculation is totally irrelevant to the news story about two Democratic holdovers plotting against the president and one of them going to work for Schiff, which can't say his name because at some point someone said he might be the whistleblower. Rand Paul made a good point. Does that mean anyone who ever may have been the whistleblower, we can't say? What if I said this? What if I said something like a source has confirmed to me that Voldemort is not the whistleblower? Can I say his name now? No. Facebook will delete the post. YouTube will. And even the spineless cowards over at Fox News who have the full ability to report the news won't do it. So here's where it gets crazy. Freaky even. Real Clear Investigations asserts that Voldemort and Sean Misko plotted to remove the president. Maybe not in any extreme conspiratorial way. They were overheard talking about it. Well, Misko went to work for Schiff and coordinated with the whistleblower. That's a fact. We don't know if it's Voldemort is the whistleblower, but if they're two different people, if they're not, whatever. Two different stories. Two different stories. And we can't say this name no matter what. I posted on Facebook that I knew a guy, I met a guy from, Dubuque who is a chiropractor dentist who was a family man, 50 years old. And his name is, and I posted the same name as, Mr. Voldemort. Facebook deleted it without notice. It literally was gone. Talk about creepy. So you know what? Rand Paul's question was good. Justice Roberts not reading the question offends me greatly because we're at this point now where simply because someone at one point alleged this guy was a whistleblower, we can't tell any other news stories about the guy. What kind of psycho dystopian nightmare are we living in? But Rand Paul, whatever, I appreciate his effort. But I will show you something else that I find really interesting this morning. CNN anchor John King says Republicans make legitimate point about the whistleblower. Wow. He says that, listen, the whistleblower started all of this. Why shouldn't they testify? They should. And that's a legitimate question coming from Republicans. And I got to agree. The problem is you can't even say the name of who people think the whistleblower might be. And you can't tell any stories about about someone who happens to, you can't tell a story about a guy. That's it. He's a guy. End of story. So let's read this one because I think it's interesting that CNN is basically saying Republicans are right here. But I will also go back to that line from The Wire. If you come at the king, you best not miss. Because I'll tell you what's going to happen. We got Super Bowl weekend. We got Brexit and Trump's acquittal all happening around the same time. This is kind of crazy. It is a crazy weekend. I'm kind of wondering if 2020 has already shot its load. Is this it? This is like the craziest weekend ever. But it's also, what's particularly crazy about it, that Trump's acquittal is coming on the same day as Brexit. Isn't that nuts? It's like 2015, 2016. It just keeps happening. Trump's going to win. Trump's support is crazy. Trump went to a blue state, New Jersey. 175,000 people wanted to get in that rally. Only 7,000 could. Reporters were furious. Why are we being made to wait outside? Why can't we come in? Oh, too bad. I couldn't get press ticket. I couldn't get press access either. But I guess we can wrap up with this because I'll admit, normally I like to do like a very, much more cohesive story. But this morning was crazy with all the impeachment stuff. We'll see what happens. But even CNN now saying that, the Republicans made a great point. So it's crazy to me. Let me say this about Alexander, the swing vote. People are insulting this guy. The left is furious that a Republican, that, the potential swing vote, I guess, I'm pretty sure he's a Republican. But they're angry that he's voting with the Republicans. And I'm like, who cares? Why does this matter to anybody? So let's read about what CNN has to say. They say CNN anchor John King defended Republicans on Thursday, arguing they made a legitimate point in asking why the intelligence community whistleblower who brought the complaint that prompted Trump's impeachment hadn't been questioned. Quote, "You're asking the Congress, the Senate now, to remove the president of the United States. It's a legitimate point for the president's team and the Republicans to say, shouldn't we go to the very origin of this?" His comments come after Rand Paul's, question. They say he tried asking a question that mentioned the name of a person reported to be the whistleblower that had nothing to do with the whistleblower. Fox News has not confirmed the name of the whistleblower. What does that matter, Fox News? Rand Paul didn't ask a question about any whistleblower. It's so annoying. King said he wouldn't help Paul air his grievances over the issue, but proposed certain questions for Democrats. Republicans make a good point. The whistleblower started all of this. Why hasn't the whistleblower been questioned? He said. Shouldn't the House Democrats have found a secure way to do that? It's a legitimate point of debate as we go through this. Is outing the whistleblower in a public setting the way to make your point? I think we can have a conversation about that. The Democrats' argument is that just about everything the whistleblower alleged has been proven through other sources, so we don't need to do this. Okay, an investigation showed that the whistleblower may have been coordinating with someone who now works for Adam Schiff. So, yeah. And you know what? I just can't stand the fakeness of politics. If these stories are false, by all means, we can ignore them. But if these accusations are being made by credible outlets like Real Clear Politics, then why won't the Republicans grow a spine and bring these people to justice if they are seriously coordinating behind the scenes to subvert our government? If Adam Schiff was coordinating with intelligence agency holdovers from Obama or from Democratic administrations, and they are plotting these things, why can't we get justice for it? Why can't we get an investigation? Why do we got to sit through years of Russiagate conspiracy stupidity, and we can't even get a preliminary investigation to just look into some of these questions? Why can't we even ask a question about any of these people? Because there's no real justice. And I blame Republicans just as much as Democrats. I mean it. You look at Lindsey Graham. You look at these people saying, I will not call these people to testify. It is not the place for this. Yeah. None of you want to actually rock the boat and bring these people to justice if they've done wrong. Instead, you sit back on your hands while the FBI goes after Trump over insane nonsense for years. You sit back on your hands while conspiracy peddlers like Rachel Maddow spew word vomit into the camera every single day and drive people on the left literally insane, thinking Russia's going to shut off the electricity to their homes in the middle of winter in Fargo. She said that. You know that, right? And then you get Don Lemon talking about black holes swallowing airplanes. What have Republicans done about any of it? Alex Jones peddles his conspiracy, vomit into the camera all the time. But Alex Jones is a kooky anomaly. But that's fine. I'm not gonna pretend like Alex Jones is an innocent little snowflake. But they got rid of him. They banned him. Okay, fine. That's the game you want to play. I disagree with it. I think he should be allowed to have his show, same as Rachel Maddow. But what happens when Alex Jones, when Milo, when Paul Joseph Watson, when all these people get purged from the internet? Where are the Republicans? Sitting on their hands. What happens when you get breaking news that Obama holdovers or Democrat holdovers were plotting against Trump, and then one of them went to work with Schiff? Republicans sit on their hands. Republicans are ineffective. Oh, congratulations, they're winning the fight. But there's no real justice here. The Democrats run around like chickens with their head cut off, doing stupid things like impeachment, I guess, that ended up helping Trump anyway. But where's the real justice? I'm sick and tired of this. Listen, man, Russiagate was mind-numbing, and I entertained it. I said, okay, let's wait for the evidence. And we had the FBI special investigation and all that special prosecutor, whatever, nothing. Conspiracy nonsense. And the warrants that started it were fake. We still had to deal with it. And I said, fine, thank you, it's over. Then what happens? The Democrats play the same stupid game again with Ukraine-gate. Trying to convince us that Trump was trying to dig up dirt on a guy he doesn't care about. There's leaked audio where Trump says, I'm actually worried about Clinton picking, Bernie Sanders as vice president because Bernie Sanders is, a trade guy. And that was a real issue for Trump. Yet you want me to believe that he was worried about Bernie Sanders, which all the activist websites are claiming now, but decided to go after Joe Biden a full year before Biden even announced? I don't care, dude. I'm sick of the fake news. I want to see the people who have lied and dragged all of us through the mud for years brought to justice. Where are the Republicans? Sitting on their hands. They say, no, it's fine. We'll just sweep it under the rug. You know why? Because I don't think any of these people, Democrat or otherwise, want to see the system change. They want to be out. Look, the Republicans and the Democrats flip-flopped from Clinton's impeachment. You see all the clips and the left is saying, look at all the Republicans' hypocrisy. And then you look at the Democrats and the Republicans say, look at the Democrats' hypocrisy. Yeah. Same game, different administration. What I'd like to see? I respect Rand Paul. You're right. There's very few, of these Republican or Democrat politicians I have respect for. I like what Rand Paul did. He tried. He really did. I respect that. I wish he would have walked away from Fox News. But I'm sick and tired of the fakeness. Let's be real. Why don't you tell people what's really going on? Well, we get some outlets that do. If Real Clear Investigations is telling the truth, we got a serious problem. They're alleging a legitimate conspiracy from one political party to remove a duly elected president. And they may have actually moved forward with it. Why can't we get an investigation into that? Why do we get bogus warrants launching an investigation for years, but we can't even ask a question about Voldemort and Misko? Because there's no justice. And the Republicans won't do anything to get it. Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, they won't actually bring these people to justice. I would be surprised if after this they actually did. Because what did Lindsey Graham say? Oh, this is not the appropriate venue for this. Sure, fine. Will you actually do anything about it? The answer is no. Once this is over, it'll be election season. The media will completely forget about it. We'll all move on and we'll completely forget what happened when the big tech company said you can't say a name. When Fox News refused to say a name, when reports came out this person may have been conspiring against our government, and no one did anything about it. I've grown used to this. not seeing justice. I've grown used to it. We're not going to see it. I really, really doubt it. Now, I know the Democrats, people on the left are saying, we're not going to see justice, Trump's impeachment. Oh, please. There's not even a statutory crime. You're making a political argument about the president being removed based on your opinion of what abuse of power is. That's it. So we can disagree on that. If there was a clear violation, if there was clear bribery, treason, high crimes and misdemeanors, we wouldn't be having this argument. But there isn't. No statutory crime other than, they argue, breaking of public trust. Oh, please. You never trusted him in the first place. And his supporters certainly trust him. Nothing has changed. So they want justice there. And they're angry the senator wouldn't support witnesses. Oh, but Schiff said he proved his case already. I'm just sick and tired of the games, man. Excuse me. I'm looking forward to acquittal. It's you know what? I'll make this prediction. There will come a time in a few years, maybe soon, when Republicans once again play the exact same game in the inverse. When it's a Democratic president and the Republicans do something similar, and everyone will have their little arguments as to why this time they're right. I don't buy it. I think everyone's full of it. Much respect to Rand Paul, though. At least he was willing to stand up. I'll leave it there. Impeachment is coming soon. Stick around. Next segment's coming up at 1 p.m. on this channel, and I will see you all then.